Hello and welcome back everyone to episode 17, where we still are trying to bring KoRail, the biggest Korean team, to the Tour de France. A shorter episode this time as the races didn't really line up, otherwise this would have been a 1.5 hour episode. But that doesn't mean this episode is not exciting at all. We still have 3 races here in today's episode, starting off with the Tour de Kumano. 3-day stage race, 2 stages classified as hilly. However, the finishes are all flat, so that might mean that, you know, the sprinters still have a good opportunity here to win these stages. We'll just have to see how the race unfolds and see what our sprinters can do here in this Japanese race. Next up, we have the Ringerike Grand Prix, which I probably mispronounced very badly. Another flat race there, classified as flat race, but very hilly. A classic race maybe fit for Fietskapol, as it does seem to be a hilly with flat mixed in, but yeah, seems to be a good race for him. And last but certainly not least, we have the Tour de Sakarya, a 4-day stage race with 3 flat stages and a time trial here at the beginning as well. A 4-kilometer time trial, not too long, but we are generally not very good at time trials, so we'll have to see how we'll do it in this race, and maybe we'll overperform, you never know. Now let's quickly head on to the first stage of the Tour de Kumano, a flat stage with some hill sections and an all-Korean team. It's been a while since we've had an all-Korean team. Let's see how they will do here in this 2.2 Japanese 3-day stage tour.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The profile of this race is quite flat. Expect a fast pace from the peloton. The weather conditions are excellent.
Weather conditions are excellent, and it seems to be that the form of our riders is as well. Hong sadly with some minus statistics, and Kim Hyun-suk as well. But our main riders, Heo and Jae Won-jun, are the ones with the positive statistics. Even our hill support rider has some positive statistics. So it seems to be shaping up into a pretty good first day here in this tour. I'm sending out Kim Hyun-suk to gather these in-between bonus points and in-between bonus seconds that you see here. And if you can get some mountain points at the same time, then, you know, why not? Get that mountain jersey, get us some additional money in the meantime. That is only beneficial for us. 400 meters to go. You see Kim Hyun-suk is still in this group. He does a little jump forward and gets across the line here as first. Getting across the line here, getting 5 additional bonus points in the climbers classification. The peloton is right behind us, however. They're chasing this group very, very hard, and you see there's not a lot of time for rest here for Kim Hyun-suk, but he keeps on pushing, and we do end up here in the second in-between, or the first in-between sprint section, I should say, where there is a big jump here by these other 2 riders. Kim Hyun-suk gets surprised and gets out-sprinted here, getting across the line as third. Not an ideal position here for Kim Hyun-suk, who should get in between seconds here and in some sprint points, and not really these mountain points. It's not really our goal, but instead here getting trumped on the sprint line, but getting these mountain points instead. So, you know, if we're already in the lead, we might as well try to keep them. Kim Hyun-suk doing another pull here up this mountain, even losing one of the riders, that which was not really our intention to do so, but getting across the line here as first once again, currently very steadily first in the mountain classification. It also means that he'll keep the mountain jersey for this stage and is the king of the mountains in this first stage, which is pretty good, at least for the points. The second in-between sprint point, I do it a little bit better. I sprint slightly early though, get a jump on the other rider that was still there, and sadly get beaten on the line here. Kim Hyun-suk second across the line, getting 2 additional bonus seconds at least, and therefore getting a total of 3 bonus seconds. Not really what we wanted, but, you know, it is still some bonus seconds for us, and that could prove useful later on in the general classification. Now onto this last mountain point, I want to send out Jae Won-jun here up front to try and get some mountain points here as well. He is our mountain rider. He is our mountain rider in the team as well, and then therefore definitely the mountain rider in this tour. Getting across the line here as first, getting those 5 mountain points. Not the king of the mountains this stage, that is Kim Hyun-suk, but Jae Won-jun shaping up for the next couple of stages, hoping to get some more mountain points there. On to the last 9 kilometers of this race. As the commentator is saying, it will end up in a mass sprint. Thank you, commentator. Hong here now leading out our team. We have had quite the rough race with some difficult sections. You see a large group of the peloton has already split up. We are in that final section of the race. I will try and sprint here with Kim Hyun-suk and Heo, our two main sprinters today in this all-Korean team. It's exciting to race with an all-Korean team. It's been a while since we've done that. And I'm curious to see if we can get some victories and get some stage wins here, as they have been lacking in the earlier part of this season. Not getting the results that I was hoping for, but hoping to get some good results here in this tour with this team. 2 kilometers to go before the end of this stage. I'm sprinting around the 1 kilometer mark here with Heo. He is a bit behind the other riders. Can he manage to get in front past any other riders? No, he cannot. The sad streak that is happening here with Kim and Heo is sadly continuing, getting across the line here as 10th and 11th. Not really the result that we wanted here in this flat stage, or stage that was selected as flat. Still dropping a large part of the peloton, however. Kim Hyun-suk, king of the mountains in this stage. Not what we wanted either, but happy to get it as a little byproduct. And the bonus seconds actually moved Kim Hyun-suk up to a 4th place here in this tour. So not bad here by Kim Hyun-suk and Heo. I wish they scored a 1st or 2nd place, or a podium, or maybe even a top 5 would have been better. But a 10th and 11th place here for Heo and Kim Hyun-suk. On to the second mountain stage, where there's a lot of mountain points up for grabs.
Hello and welcome. The route is fairly hilly, so there should be plenty of action.
Plenty of action predicted here in this stage. A lot of mountain points up for grabs and a couple of bonus seconds here as well. I would love to send out Kim Hyun-suk again, as he is the king of the mountains at this moment. And any bonus seconds that he can get would be great. 7 seconds off the lead. Why not? I would have liked to send out Jae Hwan-jun more, to be honest. But his -2 statistics worry me. So it's not ideal here for us in today's race. Heo at least with a +2, so that sounds good. But Jae Hwan-jun with a -2, the rider where I would have expected to do a little bit better here in this second stage, not having the best statistics, and it's better to make sure that he is protected here towards the end of this race. In the meantime, obviously protecting Heo as well, and we get across the line here very quickly in the in-between bonus sprint. Obviously, as first, 3 bonus seconds here for Kim Hyun-suk. Can he defend the mountain jersey in the remainder of this stage? That will be the question. I will try to stay aware here in this breakaway. Try to keep there until the end. Try to gain as many mountain points as possible. But again, it's not really Kim Hyun-suk's forte to get those mountain points. We'll do our best. A big attack here by the rider that we are in the breakaway with, but he kind of runs out of energy, does a little bit of an end sprint here to get those mountain points. At least Kim Hyun-suk gets across the line here as second, and we have a 2.5 minute lead on the peloton. So it is looking rather good for us, actually. At least that we get until this second mountain points. Again, Kim Hyun-suk gets surprised here on the run-up in this mountain. The Japanese rider just being a much better mountain rider than Kim Hyun-suk. Kim Hyun-suk not with the statistics to ride these mountains, also with a -2 today, so it's not really that good for him. Trying to send out Jae Hwan-jun here in the last effort to try and get some bonus seconds. Almost getting beaten there by Kim Sung-bom, which is not what we wanted, but Jae Hwan-jun getting those mountain points here as well. 8 mountain points here for him at the moment. Kim Hyun-suk waiting for the rest of the peloton. I don't see a lot of promise here in the breakaway, so he will just wait and hope that the breakaway catches up to him in time. In the meantime, 9 kilometers up front, you see most of our team actually already quite exhausted. Kim Hyun-suk being the lead out now here for our team, together with Jae Hwan-jun. There are only 7 kilometers remaining, quite a bit of the peloton left as well. I pushed here before in these mountains to try and break them up, but it didn't really work out as I planned, which is slightly disappointing, but still hoping to get a decent result here. There are a couple of mountain areas left here in this final section. Maybe we can break up the peloton even more. People are exhausted. You see even Jae Hwan-jun is exhausted after these hills, and he is a professional here in the mountains, so that must mean that the other riders should be exhausted as well. Kim Hyun-suk pushing fully now towards the end of the stage. You're seeing some attacks happening here. Some riders already sprinting, I don't know why, but they tried to get away here and tried to get towards the end before the peloton. Jae Won-jun leading out now for Hayo. 1 kilometer left to go. I jumped from Jae Won-jun's wheel. There's a bit of a corner there and an uphill sprint. Hayo's actually really good at these uphill sprints, and he gets across the line here as first. A fantastic job here by Hayo, an unexpected result here by Hayo to get across the line as first. A fantastic result here for our team as well. I was hoping for victories with our team, and we are receiving victories with our team. A 10th place here for Hwan-jun Jae as well. And the winner of the second stage of the Tour de Kumano is Hayo Sung-soo. A fantastic job here today by our sprinter. An uphill sprint finish. He has proven in other stages and in other tours as well that this uphill sprint finish is actually one of his strong suits, which is not really what I would expect from him. He does seem to be a much better flat sprinter, although he keeps losing out here in these sprints. But these uphill moves here that he makes keeps granting him victories. So a fantastic job here by him today. Shared first place here, as I saw very quickly in the general classification. We do lose the mountain jersey, sadly. Hyun-suk Kim not being able to defend it, but that doesn't mean that all hope is lost. Hopefully in the next race there are more hill sections, and maybe Jae Hwan-jun will be able to, get some mountain points there for the team and maybe get the mountain jersey back. In the meantime, the results of today's race: Kim Sung-bom and Yeon sadly finishing towards the bottom of the pack, and losing a lot of time and losing a lot of positions. But looking at the general classification, Hayo moving up 10 spots all the way to 3rd place, same time as the number 1, and Jae Won-jun also moving up all the way to 11th. So that is pretty good here by our team. Kim Hyun-suk still in the 5th place, so that means that with 3 riders we are now threatening the top spot here in this race. Yeon and Kim Sung-bom sadly falling all the way to the bottom, but that doesn't really matter for us. We are threatening that top spot, and that's what we want here in this tour. We want to try and get a good position here in the general classification with our riders, with this Korean team. Can we do so here in the 3rd stage? Sadly, no mountain points for us, so no mountain jersey to get, but 2 in-between sprint points.
It's an undulating route, so it will be a tactical race.
A tactical race here, indeed. 2 in-between sprint points. That means 6 seconds up for grabs. Should be worth it here to do something with Jae Hwan-jun, sending him out here relatively early to try and get into the breakaway. 6 seconds should prove a pretty good amount for him. He is 10 seconds behind the number 1. If he gets a good result in the sprint, a top 3 in the sprint, it should move him all the way up to 1st. So I'm hoping for him to be in a good position and get as many sprint seconds, I should say, as possible. The sprint seconds will really matter here for the general classification and for us. In the in-between sprint point, the first one of today, Jae Hwan-jun sadly gets defeated here by the Japanese rider, and the peloton is quite close on the heels of the breakaway. So is there much of a reason for us to keep going? Not really. You see me dropping off here with Jae Hwan-jun. There's no point here to race another 80 kilometers towards the end, get exhausted with Jae Hwan-jun, and then let him lose 2 minutes on the rest of the pack just for 3 additional bonus seconds. It's better to do a good result here in the sprint, and as you can see here with 9 kilometers left to go, the yellow jersey is almost a minute behind us. We keep pushing hard here. You see that we already pushed quite hard with our team. Yeon and Hong are absolutely exhausted. That leaves just 4 of our riders to basically go towards the end and get us into as good of a position as possible. Try to widen the gap here towards the yellow jersey. Hayo in a fantastic position here today. I have no idea where the number 2 of the general classification is. That doesn't matter. The number 1 is far behind us. At the minimum, we'll move up to a 2nd place here today, which is fantastic here for us. Let's try to make it a first with Hayo and with maybe Kim Hyun-suk or with Jae Hwan-jun. They are all 3 still in this pack. Still a spread of around 10 seconds here between all of these riders. So it should be an exciting sprint here towards the end. It goes down quite a bit, so I'm expecting Kim Sung-bong to lose a lot of energy, and he doesn't, which is great for us. 1 kilometer left to go. I do a big sprint here with Kim Yeon-suk. Heo on the wheel now, jumping off from Kim Yeon-suk in this downhill sprint. Who gets to the line first? Is it Heo or Kim Yeon-suk? It is Kim Yeon-suk with his first victory of the season. As another second place here for Heo. He keeps racking up those second places and third places. But Kim Yeon-suk with his first victory of the season. A fantastic result here by Kim Yeon-suk. A great result here by Heo as well. And what does this mean for the general classification? Where will we end up in the general classification? That is the question of today. 10 bonus seconds at least for Kim Yeon-suk and 6 for Sung-soo Heo. That should prove enough to get us on the top step. But who will be on the top step? Will it be Sung-soo Heo or Kim Yeon-suk? That is the question of today. Hwon Jun-jae ending the race, ending this day's stage here in 5th. A great job here by him as well. Sung-soo Heo winning the Tour de Kumano. Amazing job here by him. Hyun-suk Kim in 2nd on the same time as well. What a surprise here. Heo with better results in the previous 2 stages, winning the previous one and getting a 2nd place here in this 3rd one. Making sure that this means that he will end up just above Hyun-suk Kim, or Kim Hyun-suk I should say, my apologies. Oh, he at least gets a 2nd place as well in the mountain jersey. The Japanese rider just too strong for us in the mountain points. No way to get any additional mountain points either here in this 3rd stage, so that was just a lost cause here for us. Heo actually ending up 1st in the points classification with his 2nd place and 1st place yesterday. A great job here by Heo. Congratulations to him. Winner of the general classification and winner of the points classification as well. As he is the winner of the general classification, he is also the winner of the young riders classification here in the Tour de Kumano. A fantastic result here by Heo. Again, one of his first wins here of the season. I don't remember if he won another race. He probably won some minor stages here and there, but winning a general classification is much, much bigger here. Getting plenty of points here for the team, and we end up 3rd in the team classification, sadly. Not entirely sure how with 2 riders in the top 2, but, you know, it is what it is. Kim Sung-bom actually finishing a 7th here today as well. Great final sprint here by him. 4 riders finishing in the top 10. Great result here by our team today. Yeon finishing across the line here as 38th, Hong as 17th. I would say that this has been a very successful tour, although it didn't really seem like that in the first race. The second race was also a bit sketchy, but in the end we managed to get out and win here in the Tour de Kumano. 2nd place here for Kim Hyun-suk, a 7th place here for Jae Won-jun. Fantastic job by him. Hong moving up 20 places as well, thanks to his positioning. In the end, 3 riders here in the top 10. Fantastic result here by us today, and an unexpected result here by us today. Although I hope to do obviously very well here with our riders, it is always a question. The results of Heo and Kim Yeon-suk have been relatively lacking in comparison to last season. The races have been more difficult, the competition has been fiercer, they have been overwhelmed by the quality of our newer riders, and that means that the results have kind of flatlined. But here in the Tour de Kumano, they've shown that they are still on the top step here in the team, still able to get those 1st place, still able to win races and win general classifications. And getting a top 2 here in the Tour de Kumano is everything that I have hoped for and more. So great job here by our team today, and on to the next race, which is the Ringerike Grand Prix. Again, probably mispronounced it very heavily, but ah well. A stage that is classified as flat, but it looks quite hilly, and 2 of our riders in the top 10, so we're hoping for a good result here in today's race. We also brought Paul Fietske, which should fit this race a little bit better.
Welcome. Today's terrain is fairly level, so it's ideal ground for those who are good on the flat.
And that we have 3 of our top riders on the flats. It does look like this stage has some spicy hilly sections, which means that Fietske should have a pretty good race profile, or pretty good profile for this race, although statistics for today are not that great. Sawakovsky, our main sprinter here for the flats, and KoRail, also one of our main sprinters here, will be defended. So 3 of our riders we will defend. and we will see towards the end of what will happen here in this race. 11 kilometers left to go, 95 riders in this peloton, and we keep pushing on. The race has been difficult. You see a lot of our riders already exhausted. Most of their energy is gone. And with this push, we actually get loose of the peloton. Carpentier with an incredible push, pushing us with a 15-second gap towards the first group, which now also has Turnbull in it. So a great push here by Carpentier. 5 of our riders up in front. 8 kilometers left to go. Let's give it everything with our riders to try and get towards the end. Try and make it with this group all the way towards the end. That would mean a top 4 position here for our team, which is way more than you could ever expect in any race. We are not United Arab Emirates. We are not the UAE team that is dominating every race. We are KoRail, the weakest Korean team, and that seems to be more than enough here in this 1.2 race, this race where I would have expected Fietske to lead the race, to basically be the dominant factor, but we are already away here by a big push from our French rider, and now it is just 2 kilometers left. 4 riders still remaining within our group. I'm sprinting with everyone at the same time. Let's give them as much of a chance as they can get. Let's make it a fair race. The rider that gets across the line here is first, fully deserves it, and it will be Savakovsky. Severy Savakovsky getting across the line here is first. A second place here by Paul Fietske, and a third by Kroll, and Owen getting across the line here is fourth. Here, giving you a little bit of a replay, showing you that I push away, and you see that basically the riders behind are expecting to just relax behind Turnbull, or basically find the connection with Turnbull. It does not happen, and that means that they suddenly need to rush forward here to try and get towards our group. You see the group behind sprinting, trying to do everything to try and get back into this front group. Carpentier also letting go, but they're also having difficulties even just trying to get to him, and the moment they get to him, it's basically game over. They keep trying. You see them trying to sprint away here and there. 2 of the riders even become detached from the second group. The others are just exhausted, and we have a group of 2 remaining behind us while we keep pushing on here in this race, ending up the race in a top 4 position for us. The other riders just unable to catch up with our riders. They try everything. You see them get across the corner here. The Danish riders here, I think, trying to do everything they can to try still catch up to us and try to basically defeat us here in this race, but we end up being too powerful. A big sprint here by our riders. Kroll trying to take the inside path, but ending up losing the sprint here, getting across the line as third. Owen Cole getting across the line here as fourth. A top 4 result here by our team. Incredible job here today by us. And as you can see, I'm very happy here with this top 4 result. A fantastic job by us, a very unexpected job by us. Really happy to achieve this. The rest of our team getting across the line a bit later. Yusaran getting across the line as a 90th position, but that's okay. Interesting results here by also this team that has basically 3 of their riders in the last little section of the race, but a 5th place here by Miller, so fantastic job by the team. And with that, let's move on to the Tour of Sakarya, a top 4 in the previous race, and now we're starting this one off with a time trial, and you know we are not the best at time trials, so this will be a struggle in general. I'm sure I'll bring my top time trial specialists like Fietske again with us today. Carpentier also getting some pretty good results in some previous time trial stages. Owen Cole currently as 4th as I bring you into the time trial here with Fietske. A very short time trial that ending up with a bit of a mountain section towards the end. Other than that, it is just up and down for him. So being consistent here in pace is the most important part, and trying to save up some energy here towards the end of this little kilometer where it goes uphill, going all out now up this hill. Can we improve our time? Can we get towards the top step? No, we cannot. A 5th place here for Fietske, ending up 7 seconds behind the number 1. Sadly, not in first. Our time trial specialist here, not doing what I expected. Cole, on the other hand, doing pretty good. And this 18-year-old Turkish rider also doing pretty good. So congratulations to him. Not the position that we wanted to start this tour in. but you know, still 10 seconds off the number 1. Those 10 seconds I'm sure we can gobble up somewhere in the other 3 stages. They are very flat stages, however, and Paul Fietske is a sprinter, so it should work out well for us. On to the second stage here, a hilly stage, but classified as flat. This should be prey for our sprinters.
The profile of this race is quite flat. Expect a fast pace from the peloton. This morning, a few riders told me that they took too motivated at the thought of riding in such conditions.
Well, they need to ride anyway, because that is how life works, and they're cyclists, I guess. You know, is what it is. I would love to send someone out here, but there are no in-between sprint points or seconds to get, and our riders are all in the peloton, so not too exciting for us. In the meantime, I will just defend Fietske and I will defend Van Strijdom, as they are 2 of our sprinters. I would like to, you know, make sure our riders are pretty stable. Cole also in a fantastic position, so trying to make sure that he's defended. And we'll try and see if we can do anything here towards the end. As we saw in the Grand Prix that we just rode, we got a really good result as long as we pushed really hard on the in-between hills and mountains. So I'm trying to perform that strategy here once again. It is quite hilly. You see the peloton breaking, 24 riders here in this main group. The yellow jersey is still with us in this group, so not really going exactly according to plan. But we still have most of our team here with us right now, so we should be in a pretty good position. 5 kilometers left to go. I do a big attack here with Van Strijdom. Can he push here on this hill? The rest of the peloton kind of gathered back, and we do get loose here from the peloton. 10-second gap here towards the peloton with a 3-kilometer gap here towards the finish. I'm pretty sure that these 10 seconds we can actually manage a sprint here with Cole Owen. A bit of an early sprint. He loses the wheel, or Fietske loses the wheel, and I tried to finally sprint with him afterwards as well. He does manage to get past Cole Owen here, and the Kazakh rider, I'm pretty sure that's Kazakhstan, gets across the line here a second. A 3rd place here for Cole Owen. The push strategy worked once again here on these hills. The yellow jersey finishing a bit behind, and Paul Fietske getting across the line here as first. He was already in a 5th place, 7 seconds behind the yellow jersey. It is a 2.2 stage, so it should mean that there are no additional bonus seconds for 4th, 5th, etc. And that means that Paul Fietske gets 10 additional bonus seconds and moves up to 1st in the general classification. Exactly what we wanted. Cole Owen now 8 seconds behind Paul Fietske. Still an incredible result here by him. 3rd place here in the 2nd stage of the Tour of Sakarya. 1st place here for Paul Fietske. Great 2 stages actually for our riders, not losing too much time in the time trial, even though I would have liked to win that one, but that's okay. A victory here for Paul Fietske, no in-between sprint points, so no additional points to get in this race. And because of that, Paul Fietske is also in the green jersey for, in this stage. So that is good for us. Some additional bonus monies, which is always welcome, which means we can afford some upgrades also for the team. And because Paul is also a young rider, he is currently 1st in the young riders classification as well. So a great result here in the 2nd stage, and we are somehow 10 seconds behind the number 1 in team classification. Anyway, let's ignore that quickly and move on to the results. A 1st place here for Paul Fietske, 3rd for Owen Cole, 10th actually for Van Strijdom, which I totally forgot to manage and didn't pay any attention to. I was too elated here by the victory here from Paul. Moving up all the way to 1st here in this mountainous stage that is classified as flat, so I disagree with that, but it is what it is. Pushing on in this last section, did wonders, did miracles, and made sure that the yellow jersey basically got behind and, you know, lost the wheel of us. So great job here today by our team. The rest of our team finishing a little bit behind the main group, but that does mean that the riders that could not keep up with us at all drop a lot of positions, and therefore our team moves up a bunch of places. So, you know, pretty good here by our team, pretty good in general, I would say, by the rest of our team. Now all we need to do is just defend this lead here in the next coming stages. 2 more flat stages into the 3rd stage here, another flat one.
Hello and welcome. Today's terrain is fairly level, so it's ideal ground for those who are good on the flat.
Again, another rainy day here for us in this race. So nothing too special here. I'm expecting that the breakaway will not make it towards the end, and we will just defend Paul and Owen here, the number 1 and number 5 here in the general classification. Owen, not the best day today though. Fitska also not the best day. You know, 2 of our main riders with minus statistics, so not ideal. I tried to push again here in this hill upwards, but the peloton tried to stay quite stable, so not much that we could do here, and now it is just a drag race for the next 9 kilometers towards the finish line. I already pushed quite hard with Kim Yoon-suk and Hong, so they are out. Carpentier also kind of done here with 7 kilometers to go. That means I have 4 riders remaining, which is not ideal here in this last section of the race. I would have liked to have at least 1 more rider remaining, and that means we could push all out here in these last 5 kilometers. But these 4 riders will have to do, and we have 2 riders in the, basically the sprinters that just have minus statistics, so it will be a rough one either way. Van Strijten now on the lead out, pushing up this hill, bringing us up quite well here towards the front. So he's doing quite an amazing job. The other riders have to catch up with him. A big sprint here, an early sprint here by Paul Fitske. It is quite the cornery terrain, so it is a bit tricky. Cole, again, going quite early. Paul Fitske trying to get and jump from the wheel of Paul, but he doesn't really get into a good position. I should have jumped a bit earlier with Paul Fitske, and he gets across the line here as second. A 3rd place here for Cole, so another 3rd place in this tour for Cole. Jiwon Hong actually doing a fantastic sprint here, ending up as 5th. So a great job here today by our team. Another 2nd and 3rd place, 2 additional podium places here for our team. So that means that Cole moves up to 3rd spot here in the general classification. Paul Fitske still very clearly in the lead of this race. 10 seconds now ahead of Cole Owen and 9 seconds ahead of the number 2. So that should basically mean that we are in a very good place here now towards this last stage of the Tour of Sakarya. Obviously, we can still lose it if I get outside of that top 3 in this last race, and then the 2nd place rider gets first. You know that he will get that 10 bonus seconds and jump into the top spot. But we're hoping that that will not happen. We'll have to defend this lead by Paul Fitske, and maybe we can get Owen into even a better position than he already is. On to the last stage, another flat stage. Let's protect Paul and get Owen into a better position.
The profile of this race is quite flat. Expect a fast pace from the peloton. The race will take place under a bright sun.
Unlike the other days, at least today is a bright sun. Not that it does much for our statistics. At least Paul is neutral, which is good. It is what it is. A big attack here by the breakaway. I'm checking if, they are a risk to our general classification. They are definitely not. And that means that we will just relax here in the peloton. We'll defend our riders. We'll make sure that they are protected here towards the end, and make sure that Paul and Owen are nicely delivered here for this final sprint. It does go up here in this final section, so maybe that is actually a pretty big advantage here for Cole Owen and Paul Fitske, as they are more hill riders or hill sprinters. We'll have to see. On to this last 5 kilometers. You see our sprint train is already going in full blast. I have our entire team ready. I put Cole a little bit up front now because Van Strijten actually has insane statistics today. A +3 for him, while Cole is suffering today. Suffering from success, I guess you should say. 2.5 kilometers left to go. A big opportunity here for us here to try and win this tour. I don't sprint very nicely. 1 kilometer left to go. Paul gets stuck behind a lot of riders. There's no way for him to really move up here. Will he lose his number 1 spot? Will he get across the line here in a pretty good position? The second rider, I don't think, finishes here as first, so that's great news for us. A French rider does, and that means that Paul should defend his top position. I don't know if Owen Cole will lose his 3rd one, but we'll have to see here towards the end. Let's see where we end up. Paul Fitske winning the Tour of Sakarya, thankfully. Owen Cole getting 3rd in the general classification. Also not losing out to the Turkish rider here that got the same time as him. Thankfully, the positioning of Owen Cole in the previous races was good enough to outposition the Turkish rider. into the points classification. Paul Fitzke also wins that one. A little bit of luck there, to be honest. Getting a second and a first place, meaning that 10 points is enough to win the points classification. But I will happily take that. That means additional money here for us winning the points classification here in this race. So, you know, any bonus money is always welcome. We take up the top 2 positions in the Young Riders classification as well. We have a very young team, and that means good results in this Young Riders classification for us as well. The Turkish rider, I think, got very close actually to beating Owen. If he only had a second here or there, he would have beaten him, but sadly for him, he does not. And Owen in a third place. We do end up 10 seconds behind Quick Pro, so congratulations to them. And yeah, we just have to enjoy this top step here of the podium in the general classification. Van Strijdom ending up as 8th here in today's race. Paul Fitzke ending up as 13. Not really the final result that we were hoping for. We've been doing really well here in this tour. The rest of the team finishing around the 30th position. Again, we were hoping for a bit of a better finish here towards the end of this tour, but you know, what better finish can you have than winning the general classification? Maybe not winning the last stage, but at least winning the general classification, and that's something that I definitely call as a victory. The rest of our team moving up a couple of positions, thanks to their positioning and thanks to the results that they had in this stage. And that means that in the end, the victory of the Tour of Sector ESRs, a 3rd place here for Owen Cole. I think that's one of his better positions here in the general classification. So congratulations to him. Now on to the points. As you can see here, we are above the 2,600 points. This tour and the victory and everything else has helped in that. You see here, Paul Fitzke is still very much on top here in the charts of the team. Kim Young-sok also moving up a lot of places thanks to his victory here in the Tour de Kumano and his 2nd place. So congratulations to Kim Young-sok, a great job by him. Heo also moving up a couple of spots now with a victory in the stage and a victory in the Tour. So congratulations to our Korean riders finally making some steps. I've asked in the previous videos, how can I improve this overview, as it doesn't really reflect who does well here in the team. Obviously, victories are important, but the amount of points that are correlated to those victories can differ quite a bit. And so I have made this graph right here, and it's not a perfect graph, I acknowledge that, but this is the best that I can do for now. Paul Fitzke, you see here, sticking out above everyone else, basically doubling the points of the next best person. Christoph Troll now currently almost at 400 points, but Paul Fitzke already above 800. An incredible job here by him, and hopefully with this graph you can follow their trajectory and how they've been doing in the season according to their points, and see if anyone makes a good jump, what happened there with them in maybe some earlier episodes, and you can check back to those episodes as well. For example, like with Paul Fitzke in episode 14. What happened there? Who knows? You'll have to check it out. And that is the end of the video already. A bit of a shorter video, I acknowledge that, but if I keep making 50 or 60 minute videos, I kind of run out of steam at one point. So I want to take care of myself. Additionally, the races didn't line up to, you know, make a long video. If I added the next race, it probably would have been around a 1.5 hour video, and that's just too long for me. So that's it for today. I still hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys as always for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.